In the spotlight tonight, Fort Worth City Councilor Joel Burns and his message to bullied gay teens considering suicide. Stick around, life gets better. Joel Burns will join us in a moment, but first, another look at the video we showed you last week of Joel delivering his message of hope in a city council meeting.
One day when I was in the 9th grade, just starting Crowley High School, I was cornered after school by some older kids who roughed me up. They said that I was a faggot and that I should die and go to hell where I belonged. That erupted the fear that I had kept pushed down, that what I was beginning to feel on the inside must somehow be showing on the outside. Ashamed, humiliated, and confused, I went home. There must be something very wrong with me, I thought, something I could never let my family or anyone else know. Catch your breath. If I could, I would take the 13-year-old me by the hand and take him to the campaign office in 1992 of then Governor Clinton, where for a very speechless moment, my now partner J.D. Engel and I saw each other for the first time. I would take that 13-year-old me to the first day of spring in 1999 on a West Texas ranch hilltop, surrounded by a dozen head of black Angus cattle who thought we were there to feed. And as the sun set, turning the sky pink and purple and orange in a way that only a West Texas sunset can, I jabbed my hands into my jeans pocket and pulled out 2 rings that I'd literally spent my last dollar on, and slipped one onto JD's hand and asked him to spend the rest of his life with me.
The 12-minute speech has been viewed over 1.9 million times. You can watch it on our site, thelastword.msnbc.com. Joining me now, Fort Worth City Councilman Joel Burns and his husband, political consultant J.D. Engel. Joel, what reaction have you gotten from this video going worldwide?
Well, the reaction I've gotten is one that I never would have expected a week ago, but it has been an amazing experience. I have both people who are adults who've gone through similar experiences from literally every continent on the planet. I have had, Australia, South Africa, you name it, from all over. And then in addition to that, we're getting quite a few kids who are emailing, who are texting me. They found my cell phone number, and I'm getting text messages from them. They find me on joelburns.com and on the Facebook, and they're sending messages sometimes when they're in a bad place. And so fortunately, with this onslaught of now more than 20,000 emails and Facebook messages, I've got a small little army of friends and family who are helping me make sure that each one of those messages gets seen in a timely manner and responded in case there's a potential crisis.
J.D., did you consult with Joel, talk to him about this speech as he was working on it and considering talking about painful details of his life struggle that he had never talked about before?
No, not at all. I didn't know that Joel had even crafted this speech until shortly before he delivered it there at the council. I was, frankly, by the time it was being delivered, I was still in the impact of having seen the words written for the first time. I received a text message from Joel letting me know that he had talked to the mayor about taking a moment of personal privilege at the beginning of the council meeting, and I asked him a little bit about, what he was going to say. And frankly, there was a little bit of time before he answered me, and he mentioned that he was going to talk about the bullying episodes and the suicides that had happened, and I knew that this had been on Joel's mind, and we had talked about it a little bit, but certainly nothing about his personal experience. I didn't know any part of this story after 17 years of being together in our marriage. I'd never heard this story.
J.D., were you there for the speech?
No, I wasn't. Part of that exchange was me asking him whether I should come, and my concern for him being able to deliver this, because again, I was still in the impact, and just amazed by the courage to go forward with saying these words. And I thought that it would probably be very difficult for Joel and even myself to be there and watch him say these words. And so I wasn't in the council chambers at the time of the meeting.
Joel, were you surprised by the supportive reaction of your fellow city council members?
No, not really. And actually, it was the support that I got. I'm very happy to have received that support. But we have a fairly functioning city council. I think that you see a lot of divisive councils around the country, and mine is certainly not like that. I have a lot of support, and even those that I'm politically may not see eye to eye with, have a very good relationship with. The surprise came in the outpouring from people around the world. I remember the morning, it was posted on Wednesday morning, I remember seeing at, I believe, around noon or so that 5,000 people had seen it, and I was just dismayed. I thought, how could there be more than 5,000 people to ever see this video? And of course, it grew much beyond that.
JD, do the thought experiment where you are not Joel's partner, but you are his political consultant, and he comes to you and, as a politician, and says, this is the speech I'm thinking of giving. You read that speech. As a political consultant only, what would you have said to him?
Well, I'll tell you, as Joel's husband and him being elected and me having done this so many years, I've found that I fail over and over again at being his political consultant, because I'm certainly his husband first, and it's hard not to be emotional. But I think that I would have cautioned him, and in retrospect, that would have been perhaps not the best advice. And I find that when our elected officials and our public servants act with courage and integrity, they're almost always right. And this was certainly something that Joel wasn't doing as part of thinking about politics. And we didn't spend much time considering that in the brief moments that I knew, again, because you've seen the video and the delivery of those words. There's something so powerful in their clarity and their honesty that it's obviously the right thing to say. And I think what people see is the Joel that I know and love and that I get the chance to be with all the time. And it's very gratifying. And it's painful to watch. It hurts me to see Joel hurt and to see him be very present to those painful moments. But I also think that that is what's so powerful for the teens that may be there, to see that you can survive that hurt with love and support.
Joel Burns, did you have any final doubts as you were approaching the microphone to whether you should or shouldn't do it?
A little bit. I knew that I had actually written this on Tuesday during a lunch break. I went home because I knew that I would cry when I wrote it, so I figured I needed to be somewhere where I could do that. And I knew that it was going to be hard to deliver. JD, I could tell he was very worried during our brief phone conversation between pre-council and council meeting, that he was worried about me being able to do that. And I also thought about my own parents. And as you saw in the video, I really considered, I got to the point of having to really talk about the specifics of that day, and I just had this realization, or this vision of my parents listening to the specifics of that. And I've since had a conversation with them, and they said I was right. It would have been almost too painful for them to bear to actually hear it. And and the other nice thing about my hesitation was that it allowed me to really focus on what happens after that, and that you get to this better place out of the darkness where you realize that there's this full life of wonderful memories that you can make.
Joel Burns, thank you for the message you delivered last week. Joel and JD, thank you very much for joining us tonight as a couple.
Thank you very much.
Coming up,
thank you.
C-SPAN gone.